The current generation of drug interaction editors embedded within electronic health record systems allow administrators to customize specific fields such as the severity, management codes, or documentation level of the interaction. This customization can be used to prevent drug interaction alerts from displaying to various end users. For example, if a drug database vendor has coded the warfarin NSAID interaction with the severity code of severe, a system administrator can override or change this code to minor. Interactions with the severity code of minor can then be filtered out, which prevent the interaction alert from displaying to the end user. This approach can be successfully used to reduce the number of alerts that display to the end user. However, it is limited in that it forces a system administrator to display or suppress alerts for all patients. This all-or-nothing approach to displaying drug interaction alerts does not take advantage of coded chart data within the electronic health record system. Groups such as DDI-CDS.org are working on developing more detailed algorithms for drug interactions. These algorithms contain evidence-based decision points as to when the interaction should fire to the end user. The current generation of drug interaction editors embedded within electronic health record systems do not have the capability to take advantage of these evidence-based algorithms. However, some electronic health record systems do allow for further customization of drug interaction alerts, but the process often requires a programmer to be involved with the process. As electronic health record systems become more advanced, we are proposing that the drug interaction editors embedded within these systems also advance in order to take advantage of the discrete data elements within the patient chart. An advanced drug editor screen could be divided into 4 different tabs. The General tab would look very similar to the current generation of drug interaction editors. It would allow system administrators to override the severity code, override the drug database management code, or override the drug database documentation level. The Medication tab would contain properties related to the interacting drug pair and order parameters. This would allow system administrators to exclude certain medications from the drug interaction, exclude certain routes from the interaction, exclude certain frequencies from the interaction, and exclude certain physicians. This last group, physicians, could also be done by specific user groups, for example, cardiologists or respiratory therapists, if the electronic health record system supported those user groups. This screen would allow system administrators to exclude or filter the drug interaction alert from specific routes of administration, such as topical, it could also allow system administrators to exclude other non-systemic routes of administration, such as otic, ophthalmic. It would also allow system administrators to exclude certain frequencies that would not be applicable to this drug interaction. For example, once orders, on-call orders, once PRN orders, and stat orders. The next tab, or patient tab, would contain properties related to the patient. These could be divided into 2 categories, such as patient attributes, which would be factors such as age, sex, weight, height, or BSA. It would also contain lab attributes such as creatinine clearance, AST, ALT, white blood cell count, potassium levels, sodium levels, etc. Many of these properties would also need a timing parameter in order to be useful. The timing parameters would allow the system administrators to say, we need to look for potassium levels within the last 48 hours, within the last 2 days, within the last 1 month, etc. Some examples where these parameters could be used to filter out unnecessary alerts are excluding drug interactions for patients that are under 60 years old. This could be accomplished by selecting age, selecting less than, entering 60 years of age. We could also use this screen to exclude the drug interaction alert from patients who have a weight more than 75 kilograms. We could select weight greater than 75 kilograms. This weight parameter would need to have a time associated with it, so we could ensure that this weight was within the last 2 months. Lab attributes could be excluded in a similar fashion. For example, we could exclude patients with a potassium level greater than 5 millimoles per liter by selecting potassium greater than 5 millimoles per liter. And we would want to make sure that that was within the last 48 hours. We could also use this to exclude patients who have an eGFR greater than 60 mils per minute. We'll select eGFR, select greater than, enter 60 mils per minute. This is another property where we would want to ensure that it is within the last 48 hours or whatever timing criteria we specify as significant. This patient tab would also have basic and/or logic incorporated into the screen. This would allow patient attributes to be combined with lab attributes using and/or logic. For example, if we wanted to ensure that this drug interaction was only excluded for patients whose potassium level is greater than 5 and whose eGFR is greater than 60 mils per minute, we could combine those using the logic functionality. We will specify L1 and L2. The next tab would contain properties related to the visit, such as the patient location and encounter type. This would allow system administrators to exclude the drug-drug interaction from areas and encounter types where the drug interaction would not be applicable. For example, if this drug interaction was not applicable to labor and delivery, and we were not interested in having this interaction fire for observation patients, we could exclude both of those areas here. If we did not want this drug interaction to fire for outpatients or in our infusion encounter types, we could exclude those here. Next generation drug-drug interaction editors, such as the one proposed in this video, would be able to make use of published drug interaction algorithms that increase the alert specificity. Let's examine 2 drug-drug interaction algorithms and determine how they could be implemented within a more advanced drug interaction editor. For example, when the algorithm for ACE inhibitors, ARBs, and potassium-sparing diuretics is examined, there are 2 decision points that could be implemented within this more advanced drug interaction editor. The first being a potassium concentration less than 5 millimoles per liter. The second being an eGFR greater than 60 mils per minute. If both of those are true, we do not need this drug interaction alert to fire for our end users. This ACE inhibitor R plus potassium sparing diuretic drug interaction algorithm could be implemented within the advanced drug interaction editor by specifying a potassium level less than 5 millimoles per liter within the last 48 hours. We would also need to specify the eGFR rate being greater than 60 mils per minute within the last 48 hours. These 2 parameters would need to be combined using the AND logic. So we will look for both the potassium level, which is L1, and the eGFR rate, which is L2. This will successfully exclude this drug interaction from patients who meet this criteria. Next, let's look at the algorithm for warfarin and antidepressants. This has several decision points that could be implemented within the Advanced Drug Interaction Editor. It also has one decision point that could not be implemented within the Advanced Drug Interaction Editor. For example, we could exclude tricyclic antidepressants and bupropion from the drug interaction alert. At the facility level, we would need to decide if we want to include or exclude mirtazapine from the drug interaction editor. The last decision point asks if the patient has one or more risk factors for major bleeding. This would not be possible to implement within the drug interaction editor window because it has a variety of coded and non-coded variables that are mentioned within the algorithm. When we look at the warfarin plus antidepressants drug interaction within our advanced drug interaction editor, we could use the medication tab to exclude several of these medications. For example, if we want to exclude tricyclic antidepressants such as amitriptyline, doxepin, and nortriptyline, we would also want to exclude bupropion from this drug interaction alert. And then at the facility level, we would need to decide how to handle mirtazapine. In summary, the current drug-drug interaction editors embedded within electronic health record systems do not have enough functionality to adequately filter drug-drug interaction alerts. The drug interaction editors need to have more advanced capabilities to allow them to exclude specific drugs, routes, frequencies, types of patients, lab values, and patient locations from the drug interaction alerts. If more advanced drug interaction editors were designed, it would allow facilities to better customize drug-drug interaction alerts without the need for programmers to be involved with this process. This customization would result in fewer drug-drug interaction alerts, which would result in less alert fatigue from our end users.